I didn't know it was
The
going
use
to
of a voiceover and the pan around our
It
main
was always
character
my
helps
job
to
to
give an
solve these
insight about how
mysteries.
following events
And
have
there's so much
impacted her
usually
future,
left unsolved.
as she is looking back on the
No
day.
matter how hard I tried to
The
forget,
Conjuring
I
also
always came
uses a
back to
voiceover
everything.
to highlight their fears and
Now
heightens
I'm
the tense
forced to live
atmosphere
within
already
myself.
created by the introduction of Annabelle. We included ambient sounds such as birds and wind. This implies that she is isolated and cut off from society. This also suggests that she is alone, but gives the sense that something isn't quite right. Close-ups of her feet walking into the door help to show that she is cautious and vulnerable as she is in an unknown environment. When the door slams, the sudden sound highlights she is easily scared and therefore worried about being caught, but suggests she is on edge and knows that there could potentially be an unknown presence there. As she is searching the room with continuous wind in the scene, it again highlights her isolation. This contrasts with the high-angle shot as it gives the sense that she is being watched. For example, in The Woman in Black, you get subtle glimpses of the ghostly presence, but you always know that it is there. We wanted to create the sense of fear throughout by keeping the presence a secret with a sense of unknown. As the character hears the continuous Julie box music, this gives an impression that the place is abandoned and something has been there. This draws her upstairs by suggesting that something wants her to come up by knowing she is there, which is implying threat. The close-up of the jewellery box and slamming it shut reinforces that she is uncomfortable and can't cope with it. It stands out by giving it an innocent sense, but in a creepy context, making it seem eerie because the music doesn't fit in with the context of the scene.
We have included a quick pan shot showing the main character quickly looking over to the doll in the door. The quick pan suggests that the character is panicking, but also implies she is not supposed to be in the room. This adds a lot of suspense and mystery. We have developed the idea of a child's doll from The Conjuring and Annabelle, as we thought it added a lot of mystery, as they are generally seen as innocent items. We have used childlike sound effects as the innocence of the children creates confusion and suspense for the audience. We have developed another idea from The Conjuring by incorporating titles into the scrapbook. The soundtrack and the titles add suspense, but also a sense of memory for the people missing in the articles. The music we used was inspired by the record player in the film, Annabelle, as it created a very gloomy horror atmosphere.
The shot of the door opening through the window of the room indicates that the character has been disturbed from her reading and also that something has entered the building. We chose to do this because it begins to build the initial tension. The build-up of noises that appear to be in the scene are only heard in the character's head and therefore puts the audience in the perspective of the character. The sounds also make the scene more intense as there is a lot going on at once, which means you can't focus on one thing at any time. The footsteps coming up the stairs indicate that the entity is getting closer, which evokes fear in the audience as they prepare to see the unknown visitor. However, this is when the screen changes to black, all noises stop, and then the title of the clip fades onto the screen. This is intense because the audience never get to see the unknown visitor in the opening sequence.